Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome into Flying with Mike. Want to say thank you for taking time today to check us out, see what you think here at Flying with Mike. Hope you like us and hit that follow button. Also, hit that subscribe button if you're watching it on the YouTube. Love to have you following us on our videos. All right, all the business side aside, we are getting ready to fly for simulated Air Force from Omaha, Nebraska. Oh, no, 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 not Omaha, Epley. Those of us that come from the days of Strategic Air Command will know this air base quite well. Offutt, home to the Strategic Air Command. The Strategic Air Command was the command, should have never been stood down, but as always, they never come talk to me. But uh, but they guarded our nuclear weapons from pretty much the inception of them all the way up until the mid 90s when they thought ACC could handle it, and no, they couldn't. So they fired up Global Strike Command. But anyway, all the politics aside, Strategic Air Command should have never stood down, should have stayed in place. Things, we'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to get into my biases about where and the state of the military and all of that. So we'll just keep it to myself. Don't need to come out this close to Veterans Day, or at least the day in which we celebrate it, which is tomorrow. It's actually Sunday, I think it is. No, Saturday. It would have had to have been Saturday for it to be celebrated on a Friday. So, but to you guys, the men and women, hey, hats off to you. I was there back in the 80s when Cold War was on. You all have been in the couple of little hot wars we've had with Desert Storm 1 and 2 in Afghanistan. So uh, I can't say enough for you all. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. And I also want to say the same to your spouses. Folks, being an Air Force brat on top of being in the military, you know, it kind of sometimes sucks. And I will use that language. Because you don't get a say in anything. You just do it. And come to find out, there was some say in it, not for the brats, but for the service members. And that kind of, looking back, kind of way my life went, I'd like to just leave it like that. But the things I know since being in the military just kind of made being an Air Force brat just a little bit more suckier. So, oh well, enough sadness. Let's get into it, folks. It is, like I said, Veterans Day celebrations, and you all are the reason we're doing this. We have fired up here at Offutt Air Force Base, Strategic Air Command home. I'm not going to change that. The government might, this guy is not. And we're going to fly one of the newest aircraft in the Air Force inventory, the KC-46. Now, what the KC-46 is, folks, is the new Air Force tanker. Now, oddly enough, when I was in the military, this aircraft came out called the KC-10, was supposed to be the newest and greatest replacement for the tankers of the Air Force to handle the Strategic Air Command. And don't think I'm knocking it, folks. It did, but it didn't. Okay, it could do the job. The Air Force still kept the KC-135s. That aircraft could do the job, fill the bombers, no problem, and haul cargo on top of it. But they kept the tanker KC-135s for who knows why. KC-46 is supposed to do the same thing. So hopefully this go around we will actually kind of call it modernize our tanker fleet. All right. Now, again, politics aside on it. looking at this aircraft, folks, it is just phenomenal. Flight factor does not, well, let me rephrase that. I have the professional version. There is one level higher. Maybe it's in there, maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't remember seeing it in the literature, but who knows? This is a repaint. Problem is, and I'm not going to knock the guy. Power to you. You put it out there. Great. That's what we need in the flight sim. Problem is, the KC-46 is a 767-200 with some enhancements. But yeah, it's based off the 767-200. This is the 300 freighter with the livery on it. And folks, you know what? It looks just like the aircraft, just a little long. So again, I'm not going to knock the guy that painted it because we need more like him out there painting aircraft. And thank you. The big thing missing, though, folks, is the boom. And that's not his problem. That's not on him. I don't think you can add it that easily in a paint job. But even if you did, it's just eye candy. So the boom is missing. But other than that, folks, it's a pretty good rendition of it. Of course, the cockpit's not going to be right. We might get into it, but if you want to learn more about the KC-46, go look it up on the internet. It's a fascinating aircraft, and what they're doing with it, the way in which they refuel aircraft is advanced, and yet, my point of view, kind of scary. So, but again, take a look at it. You'll enjoy it. It's a fun... I've seen it a couple times at Mid-America Airport. It's always pretty cool to see. It's always cool to see a 767 come in, let alone the fact this one was a KC-46. All right, so there you have it, folks. We kind of gave a nice up, slanted a little bit, but up shot here on the KC-46. Let's get up in here. Now, we are on battery power. Actually, correction, we're on ground power. So we're going to be pretty much going from that point up. We haven't loaded it or anything. So kind of follow along, folks. My voice, as you can tell, is starting to have some troubles. I've been battling cold that only 2-year-olds in daycare can give. And then be allowed to get away with it. So, sorry I had to do that. That was kind of fun. All right. Okay, so I'm getting the transponder set. Radios look good. All right, the one thing not looking good here. Hang on. I'm going to bring in, because this is very important, folks, with any aircraft, okay? This goes for any aircraft on any sim. All right, I brought XPilot. That is our pilot client to connecting in one of. I think there is actually another. Don't quote me, but I think there is another you could use. However, it doesn't matter. It has to do these things before you get going, or you're not going to get a very fun flight with VATSIM controllers. All right, as you look at it right now, XPilot. You see COM1, COM2, frequencies are great. We got Unicom for VATSIM. We got the International Distress Channel. Okay, that's fine. But right next to it, you see these barely visible TX, RX, TX, RX. Well, we're not going to really worry about COM2, but we have to have COM1. Those have to be highlighted. Let me show you what I mean by highlighted. Go right here, click. Okay, it didn't work. Click. Now we're talking highlighted. So you need to make sure this is lit up. Come over here and do it. I don't think we can get it to come up with the third one. Nope. All right. Now, we can now transmit. We can talk to the controller. Sometimes that's not a good thing. But anyway, we can now talk to them. Good thing is we can't hear them. Oh wait, did I say that out loud? I'm sure they want us to hear them. So, um, right below your microphone selector here, see these little dials, okay? Pull them up. Now you see receive RX lit up. I know, the blissful flight you were hoping for with no yelling and no talking and all of that just went away. If you are on VATSIM, now you can talk to them and now you can receive them, which is why we're on. Okay, I'm just poking some fun at them, folks. Really, they deserve it. But anyway, yeah, and I do have a controller up, so he's going to probably be listening, and he's going to lambaste the you-know-what out of me. Anyway, we'll just continue on. But anyway, X-Pilot, whatever the variant is for that other sim, they have to have you. This is what they mean by mode C. Oh, then you got to be on mode C. Okay, so this has to highlight. Sometimes one click is all it takes, but sometimes it's two. Once it's green, they achieve Zen. They're back in their happy place, and they won't yell at you like they did at me 30 to 40 minutes in Mesa, Arizona about a year and a half ago. You are not smoking mode C. What are you thinking? The heck I am. Oh yeah, paid for it, and that's why me and VATSIM sometimes do not see eye to eye. So, but anyway, there you have it. That's what you got to make sure. So when you see, check your radios, check your microphones on your COM1, make sure they're on, speakers on, and you see on your client, whatever the name of it is, to connect to VATSIM, has you showing to be able to transmit and receive. Long story short, rant over, resume. And I just kicked that up so we have numbers in it. Not usable till the landing. This is your ILS radio. Again, push the button in. You may have to push this to push that. I know. Got to make a left-hand turn to make a right-hand turn, or a right-hand turn to make a left-hand turn. Yeah, you know, sometimes in life, folks, you have to do that. Anyway. Also, make sure your radar is in test while we're here. All right, let's continue on, shall we? I think we shall. All right, so like I said, we are in the pre-flight. So let's go ahead and load the plane. Actually, on my checklist, that's step one. Step one here is actually make sure you got the ground unit, fuel truck, chocks, gate, well, in this case, stairs, the air conditioning unit, and the cargo loader all in place with the doors open. All right, I think we achieved that. Let's take a look. All right, so there's the baggage doors open and associated luggage loaders. There's our GPU, there's our air stair. Doors are all open, so we can get cargo and people. And there's our fuel truck. So we have met the minimum requirements to be able to go to step two. Oh wait, we've already done step two. We're powered up. So, all right, let's get in here and be serious now, okay? All right, another tricky thing about Flight Factor, and it's really not tricky once you know what they're trying to convey. And it's really one or two times, folks, you got it down. Okay, it's that simple. All right, so let's come up here, click plugins, go to our EFB. Boom. Okay, there it is. Now, you can get it two ways, this EFB. You can come up here, click it. It's going to move it down a little. Or, right here at the pilot's knee, well, let me click the X, and there it is. You can get it from there, too. Either way, same unit, it does the same thing. Okay, we're going to go to the ops ground. Okay, so again, here's where you would select what you want. So you got your stairs, high pressure units when you're going to be using it to fire up instead of the APU. We're going to use the APU. Stairs, chocks, luggage loaders, ground power, fuel truck, air conditioner, loader. That's that scissor thing that goes up and down for the cargo bay, for those of you not aircraft savvy. All right, now I have taken the liberty to zero out pallet number and cargo. So if you've purchased the extended version or higher, you get the 200, the 300 freighter, of course, the 300 ER. So if you're into cargo bird, there's your zero fuel weight with no cargo. That's what zero fuel, and zero fuel doesn't include this. Sorry, folks, battling a cold. That's why we'll do our best here with our voice as long as we can. All right, here's where the confusion comes in. First couple of times out. Understand this. You can put however many pallets you want into this plane. You just count up all these little things, put that number there, and it's going to say, oh my God, you're overweight. And you're going to go, how is that possible? Well, each pallet, it doesn't matter if it's this one, is 9,800 pounds. Okay, I know you're going, those of you that have it are like, yeah, that's right. Those of you that don't have it, thinking about it, you're going, oh, that's what cargo weight's for, right? No. Think of this as bulk. Let me keep that in the back of your mind as we go forward here, okay? It's going to be treated as bulk. In my airplane. Your airplane, you can treat it however you want. So, we're going to load the number of pallets it's going to take to reach what SimBrief tells us our cargo load is. And then from that point on, so when I put, let's just say 10 pallets in, enter, there they are. And it brought me up to 2,000 or 296,000 pounds. I'll be honest with you right now, folks. I don't have the zero fuel number right on the tip of my tongue. I can, but I know that's not it. I'm looking just because. Yeah, we're off. So, whatever your SimBrief reads, take that number for payload, divide it by 9,800, start there. That'll be your pallets. Just drop everything after the decimal. So that'll be your pallets. And then the difference between your SimBrief zero fuel weight and your current zero fuel weight with those pallets added becomes your cargo weight. So let's do that. I'm going to go ahead and let's see if we can bring some toolkit up here and get a little bit more definition to it. Okay, going to get a little, not much, but it'll help a little. All right, so there's Sim Toolkit. Here's our flight. You can see it right there. We're going up here to, I believe it's called, I think OVR is Omaha, J21 to Wichita, down to CRUSR, and then into Altus. Pretty simple, straightforward flight, folks, today. About an hour and 10 minutes. All right. Real quick, the weather here in Offutt was clear. Now we got a few clouds at 25,000. 12 degrees Celsius and 30-20 for an altimeter. Winds 230 at 12. I think we've had a wind. No, I think we have had a wind change. Huh. I'll have to check into that. And real quick, I'm just doing a quick offline check of the Z time. Okay, so we're coming up to the top of the hour. So right now we're about 45 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes, 50 minutes old. So we'll see what happens when we get ready to set up in our FMC. All right, so that's here. Down in good old Altus, Oklahoma, southwest of Okie City. Again, same thing. We're about an hour, just about an hour old on it. 030 at 16, overcast, or in our reference, ceiling 7,000 feet. That's perfectly legal, folks. We don't start worrying about ceilings till we start getting under 1,000 feet. IFR. Now, if you're going to fly VFR, under 3,000. 13 is the temperature out there, dew point, goose eggs, or otherwise known as freezing in the world of Celsius. 3015 for the altimeter. Okay, weather looks good. All right, here we go. Nitty gritty, what we were just talking about. The load sheet. We have 2 people going to board the plane, pilot and a co-pilot. Okay, yeah, there's a load master, there's a tanker guy or a refueler, and maybe another maintainer on board. Okay, but we're going to, for this, the payload will take care of it. Here's that number I'm talking about, 65,820. Okay, so get your my billion dollar calculator is now on the fritz. Go figure, you spend all that money and it's not working. So we'll go to the backup version that Apple made. Oh, did I say Apple? Should have said something else. 65820. We're again dividing it by what each pallet will weigh, which is 9,800 pounds. I am showing we got 6 pallets plus 3/4 of another one. All right, so we now know 6 is our pallets. Okay, that'll bring us up to our ramp weight or our zero fuel weight. Well, we'll get that in a minute too. And then we'll put in our 30,905 pounds of fuel. Base ops is not being nice to us today. Well, yeah, in a way they are. Cost index 80, and we're going to fly at 30,000 feet. All right, so there you have it, folks. Now, let's get in here, and I'm going to bring up our charts so we can see how things are going. First off, we have to get rid of that flight. I don't think we're going to be going Los Angeles to JFK anytime soon again. So we'll zoom down a little. Now, we'll come up here to import, and we're going to import it from SimBrief. How do I still have so many? Oh well. Take the latest and greatest one so you can see how they worked out here. That one's weird. But anyway, we click here. All right, and you can see our straight little lines straight down there, folks. Pretty straight shot. A lot of times these guys might go off to say towards Whiteman, fill up a couple B2s, maybe head up towards Ellsworth, where we came from a couple weeks ago, fill up a couple B1s, or maybe even further north to Minot before going south, or down south towards Barksdale. You get the drift. They may do a tanking run along the way. All right, let's see here. So planning runway tree 1. Let's first see that. All right, and we're called 230. This is almost a direct crosswind. Wow. 13, that's 100. So yeah, we are going to do a 3-1 departure. Okay. No departures available. So We're going to go from here. We can come out here or not. We'll look. If not, we'll just swing around and go that way. Back taxi and take off. All right. Altus, do the same thing. There's our winds. And just to be certain, 3-6 left, right? Yep, 3-6 left. So you can see all the different parking places they have there. Salt strips. This is where a lot of the C-17 drivers get punished in training. And I don't mean in a bad way. This is where they train. I think C5 drivers do too. But again, don't quote me on that. I wasn't a pilot. I was a firefighter, pulling their butts out of the airplanes when they oopsed. All right, so there you have it, folks. Let's go ahead, pull Sim Toolkit. Let's get this show on the road. Okay, so we know it is 6 pallets. Double check my handy dandy calculator. Yep. All right, so in the pallet number, put 6. All right, and enter. That brought us up to 256, folks. Okay, that's still shy of our planned zero fuel weight of 263,820. Here's where bulk, the cargo, remember that bulk I told you about? This is where that comes into play. All right, so we take our planned zero fuel weight of 263,820, and we're going to subtract 256, the current zero fuel weight, without the extra stuff on. That is 7,020 pounds. By the way, folks, if that number goes higher than 98, throw another pallet on. Did you hear me? Throw another pallet on. We're not there, but if that it happened to me once, and I'm like, okay, how'd I do that? It happens, folks. 7020 was my number. All right. Now, if you see my zero fuel weight matches our zero fuel weight from Sim Toolkit. If you don't believe me, quickly, I'll show it. Sim Toolkit. And get rid of this. Bring up this and look there. 263,820. There you have it, folks. Right in here. All right. I think we're ready to do the next one. Fuel is easy, fuel. And today, again, we're planning, they're almost 31,000 pounds, but we're going to play nice, 30950, and enter. So now you see our zero fuel weight matches SimBrief. This may or may not. But we're going to be going out of here with 294,770 pounds. That's our gross weight right now. Okay, next thing I'll do is click maintenance. Maintenance has successfully been performed. And then I'll optimize. And in our case, it really didn't do much, just split it, but it just kind of optimizes the payload, giving us the best CG percentage we can have. All right, and there you go. Oh, and I almost forgot the most important part. We got to load it. Aircraft's loading. All right, and I got Sim Toolkit off here. Okay, so once we're done loading, you hear that clanking in the background? If not, hey, I'll be mean. You'll hear it. That is the aircraft being loaded. A couple of ways to know it's loaded when they're done. Okay, one, the fuel truck is not going to disappear until you deselect it from the EFB. So it's going to be, you don't hear the clanging anymore. That's a pretty obvious one. On the EFB, let me pull it up one more time. It will say, I think loaded, or these will be, or this one will be gone. One of the two. Or you will see your fuel is no longer loading, and your number will be 30, in our case, 30.9. So it's got a little ways to go, so we're going to get going on the other things. Do not close your plane up till it's done loading. You'll get an error, and you have to reopen it. Alright, so while that is all going on, we have already put the parking brake on, the battery is on, the standby power is on. If it wasn't, you wouldn't see any of this right here. We're on the external power. Left, right bus ties on, left, right utility bus, left, right Gen Connect. Real quick note about Gen Connect, folks. Turn these switches to on, but yet it'll still say off. Do not mess with these in here, or you're going to have to perform maintenance with the engines off. So if you started them and you're not getting one of the gens to connect because you messed in here, shut them down. Once they're shut down, then you can perform maintenance, and then you can then click the right buttons, this one and the outer ones. The reason it says on is you pushed it. The reason it says off, it's not connected yet. The engine isn't on yet. That's why. So don't get nervous. Unless you're a bus driver and you go, why is this dadgum panel so lit up? Shouldn't it just be all dark? You'll find the humor in that, folks, if you ever fire up an Airbus and the whole panel is dark. Alright, so we'll continue on. So the panel lights, I've got them set already. Position wing lights, let's make sure. I do not have the position logo. And, oh, did have some lights not on. I think we just loaded. It sounded like it stopped midstream, 30.9. And guess what that means, folks? We're loaded. Final check. Here, let's do it the other way, just so you all can go. You don't ever do it that way, mainly because it's just complicated. See, loading's gone, maintenance gone. It's done. So, with us done loading, get rid of the LSU and the fuel truck, and that's it for now. And then when we're ready to button up the plane, we'll get rid of the rest. But technically, we could close these guys. And this one. And we could go back, and I am going to get rid of the loader. So this is what we're left with now, folks. Chocks, the air conditioning unit, stairs, and an open door to the cockpit, plus the GPU. Can't turn the GPU off, folks, until we have the APU running. That's coming in a bit. Alright, let's head up here, start the alignment process. Again, always make sure you have it set to heading, which is status also. You'll see that. Going to align, going to align, going to align. Once it says align, it should put the minutes to align. On DC, we've explained this just about every flight. That means when we lose, if we lose the generators on the main engines, the generator on the APU, once we fire it up, doesn't want to start, it still works on the battery. It can tell us where we are. 7 here means 7 minutes till it's aligned. So jump down here real quick. It comes out. Make sure your nav data is up to date. It is. There's our model version updated just recently, folks. Let's go over here, type in KFF, and that'll work our location, hit route. They're still probably trying to figure out how to do what Zebo's doing now, which is the same as the Airbuses, where you request your flight plan real easily. I am going to be right back, folks. This cold is causing some stomach issues with me. I'll be right back. Okay, folks, my apology again. Hopefully that'll be one of the only times that happens here. So it's just been a fun morning. All right, so we're in the process here of getting the FMC up and running. Let's go ahead. We're going to go in as SIM AF 18. All right, so next page, and this is where you put your folks. This part, if you guys flown any of the Boeing aircraft, it's the same. Just put in your route. Okay, so we're going OVR. And I believe, ooh, they are really close together. That is odd. Wow, they really are. I'm thinking it's this one, the 116.3. Where is the other one? Huh. All right, so it is 116.3, 41 by 95. Boom. Now we're going to get on the, think of this as like a highway in the sky, J21. And we're going to head down to Wichita, ICT. Neat thing is, most of the time you won't have multiples on this. If you do, ooh, that gets rough. Last up, CRUSR. CRUSR. Activate, execute. All right, and there's your flight plan, folks. Now, if you come back to route, you can, if you put a name here, save it. You can, and I will, route copy. And now I'm going to add in my runway. So departure will be 31. Execute. Departure's not always a bad thing if it changes. That's easier to handle than an arrival, because the arrival could mean a star change, could mean a transition change. A whole lot of stuff go into when they decide to go, you know, you would really benefit if you come in on this runway instead of the one you had planned. Yeah, but your ATIS says something different. Anyway, again, things, you know, it's a lot harder on the arrival side. Okay, so back to the index. We'll do LTS since it is such a short flight. Hang on a second. I'm going to get a program up here to help us. The standalone version. So when you get charts and you pay for it on top of your annual subscription for your FMC and simulator database updates, you can get charts. It's just a little bit more money, folks, but you get the world. Now, if you're going to just stay in the U.S., I always tell people, SkyVector is fine. Not the greatest charts in the world. I mean, they are made by that little company called the FAA. Oh, wait, it's the government. But anyway, they're not all that great, but it's free. Okay, and you get the basic information you need to be able to shoot the approach. Okay, so we're going to head over here. Okay, so this is one thing I do really like. It helps in flight planning. So we're down here, we're going 3-6. Let's pull up available approaches. So we do have a couple of options here. We have a VOR, which usually is going to be this arcing DME. We have an ILS-Y, ILS-Z, Yankee and Zulu approaches, couple of RNAVs, and a TACAN. TACAN is that second half when you look at a VOR-TAC. It's a VOR and a TACAN combined into one antenna. The military use TACAN a lot. I don't even fully understand what a TACAN is, but I do know this. There's a TACAN on this airplane in the real world. It's how fighters find the tanker and know their distance to it so they can begin adjusting speed to be able to connect. Didn't want to sniffle and cough in your ear all at once. All right, so what I'm gonna plan here is the ILS Yankee FIBIC. How's that sound? So what we'll do, look for FIBIC, add to route. And look at that, it just changed it so when we come off CRUSR, we're going direct FIBIC and then on to the ILS. And it put it down here as well for us. We don't have to go in and save it. And there's the ILS. All right, so we said ILS 36 left Yankee. 36 left Yankee. Click the line select, FIBIC, execute. We'll go to legs real quick. Drop down here to switch into... Oh, you guys didn't see any of that with charts. My bad. Let me show a little bit of it again. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Real quick, what we did, we just clicked right here where it says departures available, it said approach available. Went in there, we selected the ILS Yankee FIBIC transition, add to route, and that's what brought it here. Okay, and then down here as well. And now what we're doing here is going to check our route. All right, so we're going to step. Okay, so there's OVR, and now we're going to just look for any discontinuities. The only one that probably could occur is because I typed this wrong and it could go 1,570 miles. Yeah, that's, you know what that means. So, but we didn't. We did it right. Everything's a nice line. No big issues. Boom. When you're on airways, still check them, because I have a couple times gone on some really screwy makeups with the going by airways only, and I've had to figure out where in the heck am I to get myself back on course, because I was lazy and didn't do this step. Okay, everything, oop, I hit the wrong thing, sorry folks, CRUSR. Okay, and it's coming in right to Oki as you see, and then right on in. Again, we're just making sure nothing really screwy, and then out to Martha for the hold and reroute back in. Okay, we'll go back to plan. On plan. How you could tell step was still here. So the plan for the route looks good. All the way in, folks, we're planned. And the only reason I did it is we're looking at currently, here, let me pull the other one up, progress. Should say page 2. What? Hang on a second, is there? We got the wrong... Oh, how did we get... What the... What the heck is going on here? Because when I'm in plan... Why is it saying 5,600 miles? Both spots. Thoroughly confused here. And that is, I'm thoroughly confused. I'll be totally honest. I don't know why it's saying these things. Okay, well, we're going to kind of work with it, see if things change here. All right, so 0 fuel weight. Is that the correct number, folks? If you wrote it down. 263.8. Yes, it is. Fuel. Hang on. Stand by. Let's get rid of that. I'm kind of... We should have... One time I found it on here. Here it is. It should only be 417 miles. I do not know where we're getting 5,600 miles. Huh. Interesting. Alright, well, we'll tackle it in flight. If we have to go direct judges, we'll cut some time off. Alright. Sim Toolkit will be the best here to show what's next. Hey, Hawker. Welcome in. Our moderator has arrived. Oh, and I can't even spell. Alright, there you go, folks. And, check him out when he's online. I know he doesn't come online much, but when he does, check him out, see what the status of his aircraft is. Alright. I said SimBrief. Saved flights. I could have clicked it there, and we're going to view this one. Alright, so here's how I'm going to determine the the reserve you see here. Okay, come down here in your SimBrief. If you're in the Lido OFP layout, and when you're creating your flight plan, you'll see OFP layout, and when you open the drop down, you'll see things like American, British Airways, Air Canada might be in there, JetBlue, Southwest, maybe a couple of years of them. Lufthansa's in there, Qantas, United's got a couple of different formats in there. They're all really interesting to look at, but if you don't touch it and you hit generate, you're going to be in what's called Lido default. Look at it that way. Okay, so here we go. This is that file that come. Actually, I could have gone a different route. Let me show it to you this way. OFP. Don't have to bring it up here. Now, every tab that's in there to include... I think I'm going to be misspeaking. Yeah, it does not include the flight maps. Okay. Which the winds and all of that. But what we're looking for is the fuel, planned fuel section. Each format has this in some way, shape, or form formatted for the airline's best use. And what we're looking for is this right here, final fin res plus alternate. Let me reread that. Final reserve plus alternate. Yeah, they abbreviated. Final reserve means that three-letter company that everyone hates to talk to called DFAA. Actually, it's a government entity. Mandates 45 minutes of fuel at your alternate. So, gotta have fuel to get to your destination. Gotta have the fuel in case you gotta divert to your alternate, hence the plus alternate. And you gotta have your 45 minutes of fuel on the ground. So I use this and I just dropped the last two numbers and put a decimal after the first two. So 13 point, let's go 0.1, because we do have an 8, we'll round it up. That's how I do it, folks. Y'all can do it your own way. Guess what? It's called Flight Sim for a reason. We don't have to all do it the same way. We're not in the real world. We can treat this like the real world, yes. But it's not. And, oh, what did I say? 80, I think it was. Oh, my nose is just killing me. Yeah, 80. Winds are 238 at 104. Welcome to wintertime. 238 diagonal 104. That jet stream is howling over the Midwest, folks. And we'll go ahead and put 2,000 for the step increase. What that is, as you lighten up, you can then climb to higher levels, getting the better theoretical wins. Not necessarily, but you might. Welcome in, Bad Attitude. All right, next up is our takeoff page. Yeah, I am going to look forward to flying that again here soon. The Zebo he's talking about there in chat, they have an update now where you can get your, instead of just doing a company route, you can actually import the route, the cruise wins, and maybe performance data. I don't know. But it is amazing what they've come out with. Alright, so I had to fire up a program here real quick, folks. Top Cat. Very nice. So performance does work. Yeah, we're going to schedule it up here again. And of course we'll use this program, folks, to compare and contrast. Alright, so we're in the 767. Hang on a second. Let me find it. Where are you? Oh, there it is. KC. Right there. Alright, so we'll go up to weight and balance. Bring it up to 260. Okay, that's close enough. Let me just get my cheat sheet out. 263.8. So if I do 0 and say 0, that's pretty close, folks. And that's all I look to get to is close. It'd take too long here to do that. Fuel. Okay, that is 30,000. Usually I have this ready, but since we were plagued by a couple of issues getting fired up, we're we're kind of running behind. En route burn 15,947. I'm gonna say, off the top of my head, I think that the taxi is 1,000, and we'll see here in a minute. Taxi fuel off at 1,000. Owned the plane quite a while. All right, now we're just gonna plug in KOFF. Don't care if it's the right call letters or not up there. KLTS alternate KICT. Okay, so once you have this all planned, oh, excuse me, they don't have a profile, so you're not going to get your CG here. So simply over here, click it. Now, takeoff. Update. Sorry, folks, my nose is just in heavy drain mode right now. All right, so we got a 230 12 knot wind, 12 degrees, and it's 30/20 on the altimeter. We've got a 3 knot headwind, 12 knot crosswind. So 3-1's an excellent choice. I don't know how to set this aircraft up to do a D-rate takeoff out of takeoff 1 or 2. So I just set the thrust to takeoff, and that's all I get. Flaps, I will set to 5. You put 1 up here, it goes, well, let's try it. What the heck? Okay, and we're not running with any ice. We'll have the air conditioning on. Okay, now you got runway 31, 11,700 feet long, heading 304. There is a slope on it. And we can put that in, folks. That helps make these numbers better. Uh-oh. Hang on a second, folks. Sometimes I think people just like to hear me stop at work because they know whatever. Anyway, that's why I don't get emails from work at home. All right, so we'll put in the slope so we can get more defined numbers. All right, so here's what we're going to be looking at: a 69 degrees. 2,600 feet of runway. Let's see if it does it. So, got the CG in, thrust 69. Let's go to page 2. Wind 230. Slope. You see the format? Either U or D. U obviously for up, D for down, and whatever it is from there on. So in this case, it'll be up. So U 0.6, isn't it? Yes. And the reference outside air temperature shows right, well, you can't see it with Top Cat in the way, 11 degrees. All right, now we go back here, put in flaps 5, turn it on, and here's your speeds. Let's bring Top Cat back. See how close we got. Sometimes we're dead on, sometimes we're way off. It looks like we're way off this time. Wow, we're really way off. Actually, by the time we get to V2, we're getting close. Let me just look at next page. Make sure nothing's saying what. Nope. All right, so we're going to do what this says. 141. 142. 148. And then you can turn the speeds off. But there you go, folks. Oh, wait. There we go. 148. All right. So there you go. The FMC's ready, and we're almost ready to go here, folks. A couple more checks, and we're out of here. All right. Wow. We've been going here for a little over an hour. Like I said, we're treating it more like a tutorial because, folks, this is a new version of it. So let's go on. We'll get this rest of this stuff done quick. All right, so let's go back to... Really? Is that maybe why? Oh. I forgot to put it in nav. I'm going, what the heck's going on up there? Alright, we're going to leave the yaw dampers off momentarily. The hydraulics we'll put on C1, C2. They're the electrics. And we'll put the demands on. See, some more lights went off up here. Electrical panel we'll check. Everything's good. Cargo heat will turn on. And left fuel pumps on. Actually, let's leave it off for the second. Okay. Coming down, window heats on. Okay. Pressurization set to auto 1. Odd days, 1. Even days, 2. Same thing up here. Odd days, 1. 2. And again, you can do that pilot flying, that guy, you know, pointing it to who's flying. Pilot flying, pilot not flying. Top Cat, go away. There you go. And then, let's see, we're coming down. Equipment cooling normal. You can set your lights however you want. Okay, make sure your forward, mid, aft cabin airs are set. Trim airs are on. Auto for your cabin temp. Packs are on temporarily just to help maintain the temperature inside. Go ahead and flip that on. And turn the forward left one on. Aft. Fire up the APU. And we can watch it here going really fast. And while we're waiting on that, I'm going to do some checks. Everything looks good. Alright, and you can see we're now spooled up at 100%. Oil looks good. Let's come back up top here. Turn the APU generator on. Now, when I turn the external power off, it should flicker. And what it's doing is transferring the aircraft now onto the APU electrical bus, controlling the aircraft instead of the ground unit. And when we turn the bleed air on, and the left and right isolation switches, it is now funneling into and taking care of the air system as well. And let's get rid of external power. Oh, actually, we can get rid of two things: external air and the ground power. There we go. And again, if you do it too early, it will go dark. All right, we're ready to go, folks. So let's make sure the outside looks good. We are not in need of a pushback. So, looks good. I see chocks. We'll get those in a second, but close all. That makes sure all the doors are closed. The problem we had, folks, why we were about 15 minutes after 11 and getting started, every time it loaded, it looked half loaded. I don't know what was going on. I couldn't even tell you what exactly I did to finally get it to look right. Because my final straw was going to be to shut it down, restart it back up. And lo and behold, it said, okay, we'll behave now. And I can get rid of the stairs and the chocks. You see the chocks are gone. All right, we're ready to start up ACARS. Let's make sure it is indeed running over at Sim Air Force. Yep, shows us up at Offutt, and we're ready to go, folks. Again, thank you for bearing with us with the enhanced ground time. It's about an hour and 20 minutes into the stream now, and thank you for those that hung around. I get it if you couldn't. All right, all doors are closed, left and right packs off. Let's get up top here. Left and right packs off. Okay, oh, where'd the air noise go? Packs. We don't need a tow vehicle. ACARS is running, and the parking brake is set, or we would be rolling. Rolling, rolling. And you can see the parking brake is, in fact. All right. Here's what we got to do. First off, turn all your fuel pumps on. Secondly, turn your beacon on. Now, what is minimally required? Some of you guys just want to get in and click, 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 go. You have to have the packs off. I recommend having the fuel pumps on. I've never had troubles with any of the planes without it, except one, and I don't remember which one. It might have been this one. Oh, yeah, it was this one, I think. So make sure your fuel pumps are on, your packs are off. Make sure you got over 40. I think that's 40. Yeah. On your pressure, and you're able to start it then. I'm going to go from this angle, and I'm going to switch to engine here for now. What we're going to do is start up engine number 1 first. Hang on a second. Got something that's annoying the you-know-what out of me. Hang on a second. There we go. All right. So we're going to start 1. So we're going to move the switch here 2 clicks to the left to ground, G and D. We're going to watch the N2 needle spool up, and when it's parallel or in line with the magenta where N2 is, we're going to then introduce the fuel here. Super simple, right? Here we go. Ground. Here, I'll make it bigger again. Look, it's spoiling up. 17 and 20. There we go. Fuel on. And as it spools up, it reaches a certain point where that gen connects, and that's the flickering you just saw. Now, APU generator is off the bus, Gen 1 on engine, or the gens on engine 1 are now on the bus, using it for putting electric power on the electrical bus. And we're just waiting for it to stabilize. Hang on, I'm just going to do some here. Take another second or two. Well, I don't know what I did, but oh well. All right, so we're stabilized now, folks. Startup number 2. Same process. Round. We're watching it. And I'm a little late. Let's go. Okay, and you can see there's the flicker again. It's a little fast, but they're getting it better. With time, they're getting it better, and I know they're waiting for some stuff now with X-Plane to get their models more stabilized and not up and down and all over the place. So we'll see how this all evolves out here. Engines are up and running, and working their way to be stable. Okay, we are stable. Alright, continuing on. Parking brake still set. Tow vehicle we never had. Alright, up to the upper panel. Left and right engine. Hydraulic pumps on. We aren't going to currently need anti-ice. Bleeds for the engines are now on. Packs. Back on. APU bleed off. APU off and gen off. Okay. Auto brakes. Reject takeoff. Taxi lights left and right. Okay, we're looking at 148, so we'll go 158. Heading, gosh, I forgot, 304, I think it was. 307. And since we don't have a departure, nor do we have ATC, straight up to 30,000. All right, everything's on auto. Okay, state trim. We need to be at 3.6. Can I see it from here? Barely. There we go. A little bit. Okay. And flaps 5. EFIS 200. 200 set, and down here we're not turning the weather radar on until we get taxiing. And we are ready to go, folks. One step left to do. Flight controls. Hang on a second. Let me come up here. I'm going to turn the yaw dampers on. See how that skewed the rudder all the way to the right? That's because the yaw, it's an old flight sim thing that's always been around. So I turn them off and then we can do our flight control checks. And 9 times out of 10, I forget to re-engage them on the runway, but they don't seem to cause too much trouble. All right, and we are ready for taxi, folks. Offutt ground. Sim Air Force 18 taxi 3-1. Well, that is a hangar down there. I'm kind of glad I didn't go that way now, folks. Roger, cleared to taxi, Sim Air Force 18. Well, like I said, this way. I have yet to apply thrust. We will a little bit. Alright, we are on our way. One thing I was remiss in not getting started. One of the timers, at least. Now, we talked about this yesterday's flight, the surprise. Folks, if you want to see it, it is up at YouTube. I have my acres running. I had it running before I even started the stream. Thanks, Hawker. But no, we talked about this. Sometimes you'll get a clearance, and it'll say, climb and maintain 5,000, expect flight level, blah, 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 10 minutes after, 5 minutes I've heard after departure now. Folks, that means you got to start a timer so that you know when 5 minutes comes, because if ATC doesn't come back, you are cleared to climb. You can talk to them at the same time, but you are technically cleared to climb. We still got a back taxi to do, folks. I'm actually not certain how much runway we have here. I'm not pulling the charts out to find out either. It doesn't look like a very bad back taxi, although it looks like it's missing one of the turnarounds. But again, it's a military airport, folks. The fact that we actually have taxiways, runways, and a couple of buildings, hey, that's not a bad thing. So don't complain. Trust me, nobody listens. All right, we'll run our before takeoffs real quick. Parking brake off. Okay, this is actually takeoff. Okay, speed brake, landing lights, MCP, AT on. All right, Offutt Tower, Sim Air Force 18 Heavy, ready to go for runway 31. Roger, back taxi approved, 31, Sim Air Force 18. You know, one day I will try it, just for the fun of it. Did I miss here? True, but I am going to be trying here in the next few flights, especially with Zebo, especially with Tolus. I'd even do it with this one, shortening the runway. And just for your knowledge there, Hawker, because I know you're familiar with it, Allegiant, even though it's available, is still using Kilo 5, and they have actually gone from Gulf here of late. Well, that didn't work. And Roger, Sim Air Force 18, we are cleared for takeoff runway heading to 32,000. Okay, final checks. Timer set. All right, go to engines. Oh, actually, hang on. It's all look good. Okay, RTO lights are on. Auto throttle on. All right, nose wheel. Let's get LNAV and VNAV on. All right, so transponder better be on TARA. It is not. It is now. Here we go. Oh, weather radar. Forgot about that. Let's go. Yeah, we'll leave it there. And then up here. Okay, terrain is on this one. Again, double checking TARA. We're ready to go, folks. Oh, that looks weird. Okay, I'm going to take them up to 60. stable. Okay, little piggy, let's go. B1. She's already wanting to climb. Wow. Positive rate gear up. Alright, I'm not 100% sure if that went as planned. Oh, she is really needing to be trimmed and nose down. Line power. Get on the autopilot. Welcome to, by the way, Omaha. Alright, let's get back in here and get back to work. Alright, brakes are off. Autopilot's on. Alright, now we're looking at it. Everything looks good. Although, kind of watch our fuel. We're 12.5, which is almost 1,000 off our planned fuel burns. So we'll kind of keep an eyeball on that. Flaps 1. Go ahead and go up. Yeah, a little windy, but still. I mean, there's always little things you can nitpick at these planes, but overall, we're already 5 minutes in. Well, granted, we spent an extra minute or so on the runway, so. But anyway, we're close to that 10-minute mark where we would be able to do what we want. We're doing it anyway. All right, folks, we're on our way. And looking down south here, turn over Omaha. Is Dallas still up? Oh, they are no longer up. Got a lot. By the way, folks, if you are looking for instrument weather to fly in today, Dallas, Oklahoma, well, Little Rock, Houston, I'm going to say probably would be some really good flying. Austin and San Antonio. I know some of you, that's all you look for is instrument conditions. And there you go. All right, cross 10,000. Again, not showing up on similar. That is weird. Oh, yeah, I think I see why. I saw the green and didn't dig further. Sorry, folks. It does help to connect. Well, again, when you got the, if you remember, I'll just show it. I just saw green and okay, I'm good. I didn't dig in to see that the connect wasn't lit up. Oh well, sorry for traffic in the area, but I'll be way below you, that I do know. So, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, we're on our way, folks. Currently, showing an hour and 10 minutes. We'll see if we actually take that long to get down there. So I hope you enjoyed. Again, a little lengthy there at our departure point. I hope you were able to take in the areas you were curious about with this plane. A lot of people complain about it. I mean, I have a couple little nitpicky things on it, but overall, I like it. I don't know where they're coming from with it. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt what you hear, and maybe even in reviews. I don't know where their holdups or hang-ups or what are with this plane. So, okay, one other thing. Okay, now I use this button right here, folks. That's the Toka button. I'm setting the altimeter to 2992. You notice altitude disagree right here. Okay, well, what that's saying, folks, this altimeter does not agree with this altimeter. I'd say it's correct. It should disagree, correct? This little set screw here, folks, if you click on it, sets it to the same. Something quick when you're in flight, you know, you got a lot going on and the controller rattles off the parametric. You're going from here up to the new standard, whatever the new setting is. And you want to just quickly get that one, you can just click here, or if you're flying it from over here, click here and sets that one. Fortunately, you do have to set this one. Okay, flaps are up. Final checks worth 18,000. Flaps are up, extend, lights are off, landing gears up, okay. And they do not have winglets, folks. Airliner versions of this do. Some of the cargo planes do too. From what I understand, FedEx does not have any with the winglets. Can't speak for some of the other airlines. But the airlines themselves, a lot of them do have winglets on. FMC message now still showing insufficient view. Alright, let's see what happens when we get up to cruise. again, welcome aboard, folks. Hope you enjoy the ride. Got about another 4,000 or so feet to go to top, and then we go into cruise. And now we're down to an hour and 2 minutes. So you can see, folks, the higher we go, the better performance-wise we're doing, speed across the ground, all that good stuff. So, truly hope you're enjoying the flight, and we'll continue on here. We're 1,000 feet away. Once we get into cruise, turn the seatbelt signs off and just kind of keep an eyeball on things until we get about 80 miles out of top of descent. Again, today we're going to be flying into runway, I believe it's either 1 or 36 left. And we'll get into that here. It won't be too much of a break before we get into that arrival brief. But again, thanks for flying with us today, folks. I hope you all have a great Thursday. Prelude to Veterans Day observance tomorrow. Thank you for those of you still serving and those of you who have served. And to the spouses and military brats out there that, like I, that endured that as well. All right, there's top. Right now we're at the cruise level. We just switched into cruise right here, and we'll let this thing settle down, and we still are under. All right, folks, we're out of the break now, and we're in cruise. So let's do a quick look at this arrival. And we'll also have the FMC up to make sure everything is indeed loaded properly. Okay. Well, we don't need to see Offutt anymore. And I'm going to kind of go ahead. So here it is, just an overview for you to see. No, you can't. Hang on. can see it. And you got the FMC. All right. And you have X-Pilot. Wow. Let's go ahead and get rid of X-Pilot for now. All right. So there you have it, folks. Okay. So from CRUSR, we had to FIBEC and then over and start in. Okie, wavies, load knee, and then right in. All right. ILS or RNAV GPS. Either way it works. If it's RNAV, it won't have a frequency. We're doing the ILS. Alright, so what we're going to be doing is coming into FIBEC at or above 3,100 feet. At or above 3,100 feet. Yeah, we'll do that, but from Okie in, I want to be at 210. Actually, at the fastest. And then waves and slowing down. Alright, perfect. Okay, so, across the top, there's your ATIS. Now, you don't see D up here. Does that asterisk mean anything? Then you have Altus approach and Fort Worth Center when approaching, not in use. Okay. Tower and ground below. Alright, so what do we do with this 110? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, let me go ahead and get rid of charts for a second. Okay, with that 110, what you're gonna do, what you're gonna do. Oh, sorry, wrong stuff. 8. Really? I can't set it. Seeing this, right, folks? It won't go to 8-0. All right, that could turn into some fun. How about? Oh, wait a minute. I'm tuning into. Never mind. I'm tuning in a wrong item. It's 110.3. Like what the heck? 355. This is for your ILS. I was tuning in the TAC in here, or VORTAC. Yeah, you can see that doesn't work well. Alright, 110.3 is dialed in. Final approach course 355's plugged in. Alright, so we got all those plugged in. I can even do one more thing here. Let's go ahead and make this it. Alright, next. Load knee. 6.1 DME at or above 3,000 feet. I'm aiming for 3,000. Just going to let you know. And 170 to 160, and then we're going to be coming down the glide slope. Alright, LNAV. Okay, we're ILS up here. So our decision altitude or height. This is mean sea level. This is above the ground. Altimeter, radar altimeter. Okay, big differences here, folks. One is reading above the ground, one is reading above sea level. Alright, so 1554 above sea level, or we can set it for 200 AGL. Airport sits 1,382 feet up, so a little bit up there in altitude. And quick. Make sure we're not getting thunderstorms. Okay. Missed approach, climb to 4,000 direct Martha, hold. Pretty simple. RNIP for the LNAV. This is not very, okay, RNIP available again. RNIP approach for LNAV, okay. Emergency altitude. Safe is 100 for 100 miles, 4,900 feet. I'm getting off that page because it's really getting confusing at the bottom. Alright, so we're going to come into FIBEC. We've got it set up for 3,100 feet or above, 240 on the speed. $289 to Okie. Again, above 3,100 feet. Slowed to 210. And then we track inbound localizer. Waves, still at 3,100 feet. Lodny, 3,000 feet. Sakyo, 1,800 feet. And then that's where the LNAV missed approach is. Ours is further down. We don't have a timing on this, but let's go real quick. Let me pull this once again away. Here comes Top Cat. All parking it, folks. Landing, updating. Is that about right for our landing? $290. Let's take off 277. Okay. That's good ballpark. Okay, packs on, anti-ice off, brakes. We'll say auto land and we'll do... Alright, and 36 left. 03012, 14, 10, 20, looks good. So 135 is our landing speed, 140 for the approach. Now you see why I ran off here real quick. This is your intended ground speed, so approximately 743 feet per minute will maintain a 3-degree glide slope, should the glide slope go out. And if you don't think that happened out the sim, it may not. In the real world, it's out at my airport. Alright, so we have an ALSIF 1 approach. We have PAPIs, hopefully, on the left side, and then our missed approach, followed up by our minimums. We have to have a ceiling height greater than 200 feet and a visibility greater than a half-mile statuette, or RNAV 24, unless we're running with a flight director, autopilot, HUD, and then we can bring it down to 18. All of those we meet, so we're good for 200, a half mile, or an RVR of 18. And that, folks, is our arrival. Okay, we're just getting close to where it'll start showing us our top of descent. Probably about another 50 miles, maybe 100, we'll see. And then we'll plan for our top of descent. There you have it, folks. We're not even going to plug it in the box yet. The information under in it. We'll get it as we get closer, as we get better information to tune into this. For now, though, we're just going to continue to cruise along. Top of descent will be in about a half hour or so, and then we'll be headed for our landing. Hope you've enjoyed. Thank you for this extended run. little bit of a tutorial on how to get the bird up and ready to go. Like I said, Flight Factor 767, I don't know why so many people don't like this version. I actually like it. I don't see the naysaying in it. I just don't get it. I know they're all up in arms because the 777 is, they feel, dragging their feet. It goes as what the developer can do. I get that. Would I love to see it? Depends how much they're going to make me pay for it. No, but seriously, folks, I mean, lighten up, Francis. It'll be finished when it gets finished. Great line from the movie Stripes, if you haven't seen it. Bill Murray, great movie. But there are a couple quirks now with the plane. They're not heavy on the performance problems. What they are is how you load the plane in cargo. Loading it in passenger is a piece of cake. Load the number of passengers, whatever your difference is, again, between SimBrief Zero Fuel Weight or whatever program you use and the airplane. Put that in the cargo, you're ready to go. Cargo, it's a little different. But as soon as you do it once or twice, it's like, yeah, write it down. Each pallet is 9,800 feet. Very simple. Interesting cloud depiction here. Not sure what XP12 is trying to depict here. See if I can pick up on where we are here. Where the heck are we? Oh, there we are. There's a little bit of shower activity ahead of us. I've been a little remiss in, because I know stream elements, I can't control it, folks. It is just a pain in the rump. So here is the link for our Discord channel, and just for some reason on my end, won't put it up right. If it's doing it right for you, sorry for the duplicates. And then also, if you are interested, folks, if you're into military flying and you want to do it on VATSIM, now there are rules that have to be followed on VATSIM. So you would have to join a virtual special operations group, which Sim Air Force is one. You just come in, they get you up and going, then we get you trained, and then you can fly a tanker, fly a fighter. You can dogfight to some degree in VATSIM, and it's not leadership of VATSIM that makes it difficult. It's just these sims aren't really that great in dogfighting. That's where digital combat simulations comes in, DCS. But you can do cargo. You can do cargo drops. You can do a lot of things in here. Is just seeing it and making the kill and all of that, it's very hard to do. But you still can do a lot of military operations within VATSIM. So, if it interests you, if you want to spin up, learn the planes here, go to DCS, great. Again, Sim Air Force, great place for them. They actually do have operations on DCS too. So, I'm just not into DCS. And if you're interested in this aircraft, folks, right now will tell you I recommend it. I again don't know where the naysayers are coming from, besides the woodwork. But obviously something's not happy with them, and oh well. So there's how you can get a hold of the 767. You can do a quick search, KC-46 X-plane, and you'll get this. And follow the directions, folks. It's real simple. To add delivery. Maybe one day we actually will get a KC-46 actual tanker, the whole 9 yards. Folks, there's not even a KC-135 out there in X-plane. Actually, I don't even think for the other one either. So, but they're fun. The only bad thing is you can't get right in and connect. Usually there's a little lag between the two. So, but that's a VATSIM thing. That is not a Sim Air Force thing. That's not an airplane thing. That's your online environment thing. Now, if you want to get in and connect DCS, you can connect up. So, but there you have it, folks. I just thought I'd run those three out there real quick. Our Discord, how to get on with Sim Air Force. Check them out. Make sure it's what you want first. And then lastly, the version of the 767 I'm flying, which is the professional extended upgrade. The in-between one. All right, folks, Wichita, 40-ish miles ahead. Again, hope you're enjoying. It's been a blast flying. Kind of doing a little teaching today, a little tutorial, if you will, on this bird. Haven't done that in a while. And because of the little glitches that came up when I first fired it up after the upgrade to the aircraft, I had to put in my serial number and all of that good stuff. It is what it is, so. Alright, folks, we'll continue on. We'll see you in a few. And I am going to get a cup of coffee. All right, folks, you know, laundry needed my attention too. So, all right, we're back. Staring down about 30 minutes to arrival. And let's see, maybe top of descent is showing now. It is at 110 miles. So in about 30 miles, we're going to actually finish up the FMC setup and begin getting ready for the descent. But again, for those of you, thank you again for taking a little time out of your day to be a part of Flying with Mike. If you'd like to do that all the time and you haven't done so already, smash that follow button, that purple heart, I believe it is, on the screen. Smash it. You'll be notified when we hit the start stream button on our end. If you're one of those, catch it on the YouTube, and that is a replay, not a, it's not live, it is just a replay. I just send it up after I'm done streaming. We thank you for being a part there. Hit that subscribe and that thumbs up. We'd love to hear. Trying to gauge what airplanes you'll really do like to see. I'm actually thinking about another aircraft, and I'm kind of gauging which part of the spectrum to begin looking at. So your help is greatly needed in letting me know which ones you prefer watching and learning and, getting, enjoying to watch. And there may be one that I'm going to have to go out of my comfort zone and try and learn. So, we'll see. That sometimes can be fun streaming too, where I'm learning the plane like you all are. So, that's where I'm having so much trouble. Or do I just get a weather utility to help improve? Or does Austin have some little tricks up his sleeve coming eventually for the weather to look even better than it has gotten over the months here with XP12? By the way, folks, it's almost been a year since it's been released. I know, I just dejected a lot of you. Are you kidding me? Almost a year. Time flies when we're having fun with it, doesn't it, folks? Oh well, but it has been a blast. Really has been. And I can't wait to continue on. So see the further improvements they can do to it before they have to do X-Plane 13. And that'll be a couple of years, I'm sure. All right, folks, we are at 80 miles to top of descent. So let's verify, and I'm pretty sure I never turned them off. Seatbelt signs are on. Okay, so we need to do the initial ref page for the FMC. What is that all about? Some are asking, what does that mean? Right here, your init ref page. It's going to now be on approach. Let me bring Top Cat back in here. That's not Top Cat. That is. Okay, so we're set up again. Altus 36 left. Let's just update the weather in case there was an update. 1855. We are currently 19, so we're coming up on one here in about 10 minutes. 03012, 10 miles visibility, and again the ceiling at 7,000. We're not going to worry, folks, about ceilings till it gets below 3,000 VFR, and truly below anywhere from 500 to 1,000. We start, really wanting to know the weather in depth. Okay, and 312. Okay, so flaps 30, packs on, anti-ice off. It's only set to auto land, folks, so I can make sure I get everything out of the plane. If I go manual, I seem to lose some things, and I couldn't tell you anymore what it was, but it doesn't show everything. So let's actually, let's try it. Okay, so still VREF 135, approach speed 140. Looks good over here. So all I did is click the line select here, put it down here, click the line select here, moved it from there to there. All right, and we're looking at, according to this, we're gonna need a landing distance expecting 6,178 feet. So, and that'll leave us 7,260 feet of runway. So if we touch down right where we're supposed to and all of that good stuff. Okay, Top Cat, goodbye. Okay, I'm going 281,000 right now. I'm a little concerned we're not going to be anywhere near the numbers there. Double check what's... That's fine. Okay, we'll be just fine. Alright, so we are programmed and ready for descent, which is now 68 miles out. Okay, back up your auto brake. Let's set it to 2. EFIS to the decision height. Alright, so again, let's bring up charts real quick so we understand decision height. Went through it, but you know, some of you weren't maybe here. Or weren't here altogether, or went, dang it, I had to make a quick phone call, or this or that. I feel your pain. Alright, so the ILS. Decision heights. Alright, it's right here, folks. For the ILS approach that we're going to do, we're on the 1554. Now, this is MSL. Okay, MSL. What's set in here is what's in parentheses for 200 feet above ground. Now, if I think I can do it with this one. No, I can't switch it, so we have to go with the AGL 200. If we could set the Barrow version of that and put it to 1554, that goes off at the same height above the ground. Same height, folks. Just one's MSL, one's above the ground. And since I didn't really talk about it, once we land, we'll plan for Gulf. Worst case scenario, all the way to the end. Back taxi back. And I don't know where. We'll probably park somewhere by base ops. Echo 1, turn around, park in here somewhere. Something like that. Okay? Alright, so there you have it, folks. We are fully programmed and ready for descent. It is on the map at about 50 miles out, 50. And once it gets into about between the 40 arc and the 20 arc here, I'll set our altitude. For now, we're just got about a 5-minute window, and I am going to this time. I was remiss last flight. And I'm putting my number in. All you got to do, folks, exclamation mark the word predict, put a space in between it and a negative number, and you're in the, you know, see how well you do in predicting my landing. And again, thank you for some of your time today and watching this. Again, I know some of you don't like long drawn out pre-flights and going through all that cold and dark starts. But I know some people out there really do like that, seeing that, what are the procedures. And they actually do comment on time from every now and then. You missed this, you didn't do that. I mean, hey, I'll take it, folks. I try to improve. I know my departure brief is mine. It's not the one they teach. And so is my arrival brief. Again, I'm not so real that I do it like the real guys do, but they're doing it just keep that repetition going, that muscle memory, if you will. So that it's just boom, comes right off the, you know, right off the lips, right out like it's supposed to. So, but again, thanks for being a part of Flying with Mike. And I can already hear it. I already know, folks, it's supposed to be a 767-200, not a 300. But, you know, we need people like the gentleman that painted this. We need people like that painting aircraft so they look, you know, we have those varieties out there. So I'm going to say thank you. Yes, I can nitpick and say that's the wrong airplane. Where's the boom? Where's this? Where's that? No. I mean, thank you. I mean, we have a KC-46. Thank you so much. And I hope to look for this guy for more. So, I'm still trying to get the nerve up to take all of those textures and turn my Fearless into an E4B. The flying overwatches that were back in the day. But I can just see myself screwing it up. So I just don't. Alright, so as I said, once we got in between 40 and 20, these two rings, I was going to set my descent. And we said the descent on this will be 3,100. Excuse me. Okay. Now, I can already hear the question, well, how do you make it descend? Bear with me. Alright. Again, terrain radar and radar over here. Weather radar. CRUSR is coming up. Top of descent is now approximately 20 miles out. Okay, I've got my MCP set, almost 200 just in case, and hang on just a second. I've got the time, so I'm going to look. Okay, I don't think we can get a different FMS. No. Okay, that's what I was looking for. The Zibo, you can actually put a separate one, a different one up here. Hang on a second. The CEO is paging me. All right. So we can go to now. A lot of people out there let's do it. Let's go to descent. Are looking for where do I put the transition level? US is usually easy, folks. It's always 18,000. But I get it when you're flying Europe, Africa, Asia. You're gonna have different numbers for different airports, for different countries, whatever reasons. Now, on this one, it's right here. Zibo and many Boeings, you'll see the word forecast here. Click it. Go up to the top, put your transition level in. There may even be an update winds and all of that. But yeah, that's where you would find it here. For us, it's right here, set properly. Descend now. Go figure, it's right there. Click. There's the famous bar. Not the department store, folks. And I could hear some, what? And there actually was a place called Famous Bar. Alright, but Boeing's, you're going to get this little graphic right here with the diamond. Wherever that diamond is tells you the diamond is where your sweet spot, we'll say, is for your descent. It'll start coming down here shortly. Once we cross top of descent. And then once that diamond is closer to here, your vertical speed will increase too. You'll start a steeper descent. And then you really got to pay attention to your speeds. But we are now coming down, folks, for Altus Air Force Base, Oklahoma. I don't even know how the theme goes. I'm not even going to try. And if I started singing, I'd probably scare off the people we have watching here. So I better not. But again, folks, exclamation mark the word predict anytime between now and those wheels touching down. You can put a prediction in. You can even change it if you put another one in. Okay, according to the ETE at the top of the page, 13 and a half minutes. Let's see how close. I got a feeling we're a little longer than that. But not by much. But again, thanks for taking some of your time here and being a part of Flying with Mike. Love having you aboard, and we're going to begin working up next week. We do have a request from one of our YouTube viewers, Jamaica. So we're going to see what we can do. And we'll see what we can do. Now, with the end of the year, we all know Thanksgiving, Christmas, things start getting really crazy. So 2 flights a week could be all we get. Maybe throw that surprise in every now and then. So, but we'll get a schedule up and stick to it as best we can. Things do come up. So, matter of fact, speaking of things coming up, I do need to amend what I use for setting up my flights. There we go. But I'll get to work on that as well, folks. And you tell me if you have suggestions, folks. Head over to our Discord channel. We have a place in there, flight suggestions. Let us know. And I will. We flew a flight for Hawker here not too long ago. I can't remember what it was. But we did fly one for him. We flew another viewer to Santos Dumont, I believe it is. It's the other Rio de Janeiro airport. Folks, that one's fun. We are going to revisit that one. Got another one we're going to revisit in South America. Another tricky approach. So, you know, let us know if you have a great idea. And if you want us like the Santos Dumont, he had a request for the 737. So the 737 from Zebo flew it. Yes, you can, and they do fly in there and out of there on a 49 or 900 foot run. Yeah. It's fun. It's actually fun. I will tell you that much right now. But give us ideas, folks. It helps. Sometimes it gets difficult to come up with them. And I'm waiting. I know some people want it to be super duper, super long. And no. One, I really don't have that kind of time to sit here, nurse the computer, nurse the stream. No offense. That's, folks, I mean, somebody loves suggesting JFK to Singapore. That's 18 hours, folks. That is a very long stream and very difficult. Yes, there are going to be breaks. So, yeah. But if we keep them within region 3 to 4 hours, folks, that's about as far as I like to stream nowadays. All right, we're getting ready to come over CRUSR here in 10 minutes, direct FIBOC. And if you look at the gauge here, okay, now we are drawn out to the 80-mile mark. This is 80 miles, 40 miles, and 20 miles, you get it. These are all the fixes with constraints, or what they call in Boeing data. The data, you know, what speed, what altitudes. If they're set, they're there. So we're going to come into FIBOC, make the turn, slowing to 210. And right here, this green arc, that is the projected point we'll hit 3,100 feet. Right on time. Because, if you noticed, our gauge, the diamond is right in the middle, so we're right on the descent path. See, our vertical speed has increased coming down. And our radar is being our radar. And I'm sure this loose nut behind the wheel is the cause for some of that. Okay, let me adjust my heading. And again, I do this, folks, that if all of a sudden I have an issue, boom, heading select, it'll be whatever I'm set, so it'll continue, assess my problem, and decide, do I need to land or can I continue? All right, let's take a look at a couple things. All right, we are starting to get into what rain bands. Here is the latest, and not really showing up on the radar. So we'll see how that's going to affect our next meter. Speaking of which, that should have released. Okay, 10 minutes old. Overcast now, 8,000. 10 miles visibility, 03012. Good thing is the winds are staying pretty stable. Ceiling lifted a little. And 3010. Oh, we already through. We are already through. So 3010. Okay, and as you can see, the altitudes disagree. We clicked that. The altitudes now are the same. And you can see and verify, and all I got to do is set this one, which I did not set to standard. Now it's time. One thing I didn't pay attention to is how well the wind's aloft. Oh well. Alright folks, bear with me, you might hear some clunking in the background. I have a cough drop trying to help us through here. I'm going to go ahead, I know the temperatures. Let's just do it this way. Any ice is right here. Engine, let's go ahead, turn the wing on, wing lights. And the thing I always hate, if I did have to nitpick flight factor, it always looks like these are down. Even though they go down further, just a quick glance, they look on. It just, I know it's, if I did this, would it help? Nope. It's just one of those things. Okay, we're getting into rain. And of course, it's not showing up. And that's probably because when I hit the map here, we're not in any of it. You see, it's all out here towards Ardmore and places down in here. So that's why we're not seeing it. We're seeing light rain, but nothing major. Even though the weather outside looks very frightful. Okay, we're coming on 10,000 feet, so we're going to begin our decel. And if I had to venture to say, I believe we're under the clouds now. And again, nobody's online. Okay, I hear the engines winding up. Okay. I don't like seeing that line that far up. So I'm going to take over. Nose this down a little bit. Okay, that right there I'm a little more happy with, because we are looking at 3,100 feet all the way to here. So the fact that we're slightly over at Fybeck, I'm okay. All right, and well, once we get on final, we should have pretty good visibility, it looks like. We'll see. I think that computer has a total mind of its own. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop it a little bit more on the range here. And come down. Again, it's 110.3, 355. 110.3, 355. Okay. Flight attendants, take your seats for landing, please. Alright, folks. We're at 5,000 feet. Again, our lights are on. Here comes the turn. All right. You can see now we're set for 210, both here and where the magenta is, and it's right below the flap line. So once we get down to it, folks, we can actually start deploying flaps. Okay, there's our localizer. Okay, we're set up. You got the glide slope above, localizer deflected. We can't confirm it here. We should be turning, though, on course here. Altus traffic, Sim Air Force 18 Heavy type KC-46 over Oki, inbound on the ILS 31 left. Let's go ahead and get flaps 5 out. Okay, I do not see the runway yet, but we, oh wait, yes I do. Okay. Right there, I believe. Alright, so we are currently approximately 11 miles out. And if you do this in straight and level flight, folks, slowing down is actually really easy. It's when you try to do it even on a glide path, it can be very tough. But never fear, the landing gear will always add enough drag to help slow you down. Okay. Tapped the spoilers, so they are armed. Slowing to 1. Okay, runway in sight. Airplane's mine. Get the rest of our flaps out. get this beastie in line. I'm going to go ahead and call a stable landing.
Minimums.
Flight slow.
100.
Flight slow.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
And we'll just do an idle reverse coming down through here. Oh heck, we're going to get off at Fox. Let's see if the wipers do it. A little bit. We'll take it. Alright folks, welcome to Altus Air Force Base, Oklahoma, southwestern Oklahoma. Well, it doesn't look like it's raining anymore. As soon as I do that, we'll be in a downpour. And advise we turn here. They want us over on this side, to the right. Alright folks, we are in the blocks. Let's make sure the parking brake is set. APU is up and running. Okay. Throttles, airspeed, autopilot, auto throttle off, flight directors off. And auto brakes off, speed brakes down, flaps up, APU lead on. And the generator on. Taxi lights off. Flaps transponder to standby. Okay. And finally, engines off. Welcome to Altus, folks. Hope you enjoyed. Nice little hop here. I'm going to check in here with Sim Air Force real quick. Finish the flight. File the PIREP. And yes, I am curious. I'll be right with you all. We'll continue on. Kind of curious what they've got us at. Oh, love it. 37 feet a minute. All right, and let me just scroll back down. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of that and that. And that. All right, folks, this was looking really like a good landing. I mean, it really felt good. All right, and we're going to go ahead and get rid of X-Pilot. Real quick look around. Nobody's flying with us, so turn that off and that. If you forget to turn it off and you go into replay, guess what it does? It does disconnect you, so don't fear that it's not going to do what it's supposed to do. Alright, so let's get Sim Toolkit up here and debrief. That's a lot of rain. That's not really showing up. Alright, 27 feet a minute, folks, is what it says there. Now let's go ahead and finish it and post it. 27 feet a minute. Wow. Felt good. Really did. That just all came together just like I like. It doesn't happen often, but boy, when it does, felt good. Details. Hour and 30 minutes we flew, 419 miles, 7,900 kilos of fuel, 1 G on the landing at 27 feet a minute, a little slow by just a couple knots. Not bad. Alright, looking at this, folks, just a real quick recap for those of you not runway savvy yet. Okay, from this mark back to the blast pad here where you see the blue dot. Now you're not going to see the blue dot in real life, but anyway, that line is called the threshold line. So from there to that last set of hashes right here, that is your quote landing zone. Each hash mark's 500 feet apart, so you got 500, 1,000, 1,500, and look, 1,500. Off by 8 feet to the left on the center line, folks. It's 200. No, it's 150 feet wide. I saw the constriction and thought maybe it was a much wider runway. But anyway, great landing. Oh my gosh, look at these stats. I mean, of the little crabbed still on the landing. Okay, it happens. But you know, overall, really, really good numbers. All right, let's rewind and see how it looked. All right, let's watch it in regular time. Oh, yeah. What a landing. Oh, don't do that very often. Shots. Nice. Watch it in down slow-mo. Just didn't come out of the crowd. We're tired. Man, what a landing. Oh, let's take a look at it from some wing views. All right, folks, what a day. Great flight, love it. We are in Altus, Oklahoma, and what a day it has been. We had some problems getting started, that's why we were a little late, but once we got going, boy, what a flight. Of course, folks, y'all are going, well, the scenery here is just boring. Welcome to Oklahoma. All right, so really, really fun flight here, folks. See if we get a tower view. Yar. Well, folks, I mean, right there, pretty much a picture-perfect landing. I mean, we could nitpick it a little bit, but you know what? For flight simming, for somebody that doesn't fly these for a living, I'm not complaining. Hope you all enjoyed. Thank you for, again, spending some of your Thursday with us. thank you, service members out there. Thank you for the service you give. Thank you for the sacrifice you've made, but also to your families for the sacrifice they've given with you being gone and all they have to go. That always gets missed, especially high service members. Think about that with your wife and kids. Think about that. Being a service brat, I know that as well as a service brat. But again, thank you. Thank you so much for your service. Folks, we're going to wrap it up probably for the week. There's always a chance there could be a surprise here and there. Right now, I am not foreseeing. Okay. Never seen it do that before. Okay, cool. So, let's get everything opened up on it. Stairs, chocks, LSUs, GPU, ACU, and loader, airplane, and open all. Alright folks, there you have it. KC-46. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be working on the schedule. Check our Discord channel. Check down at the bottom of Twitch. Oh, excuse me. Either in schedules or about, you'll see our flight schedule for next week. Hope you all have a great day. Enjoy your Veterans Day. Those of you who are service members, again, thank you so much for your service. And again, spouses and children, thank you as well. Folks, we'll catch you again next week. First day, probably Tuesday. God bless you all. We'll see you then. Stay safe. XP Aviator. Hope you all have a great weekend. Again, God bless. We'll see you Tuesday.
said give me a hell yeah!
Oh shit, look at who we got here. I just had to deal with a couple of work things here, kind of in the background. And thank you, Flying Mike, for the raid there. I appreciate it so much. And Robert, I saw you had you had a little trip to some beautiful waterfalls. That was awesome to see. Hey, Ruben. Yeah, it was awesome. I tried ortho, getting auto ortho set up here today, but I struggled a little bit with some error messages. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff here, Bill. So, yeah, we tried it, so we'll spend some more time getting it set up, so. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking really good. Got a few mods in here today. That's awesome. Hey, Kennethman. It's time. I'm just kind of finishing up. Yeah, that's not gonna add up. I'm doing real well. It's exciting to see a lot of the old timers coming back in here now. So yeah, that is not correct, my friend Robert. I will get the right information in there for the for the routes and what we're doing here. Let's see here. Get this in. Down. There we go. Dashboard. So let's get that fixed real quick here. So so there's a lot of stuff in here that I clearly need to kind of fix up on and get caught back up on here again. Let me see here. There is the routes. Let me see here. Make sure that this works still. And I'll pull it from the sim brief here. And let's see what it comes up with. Try now. Type in !route and see if it actually does work out okay. Yeah, that looks better.